Imagine a world where the simple act of turning on a faucet is a daily miracle, not a guarantee. In many corners of the globe, clean water is a luxury, and electricity is even rarer. But from the heart of Zimbabwe, a story emerges that is as unlikely as it is extraordinary. It is the story of a teenager, barely stepping out of childhood, who refused to accept the limits placed before him. A boy who looked at water, not as a scarce resource to be rationed, but as the very key to unlocking endless possibility. This is not the tale of wealth, privilege, or advanced laboratories. This is the tale of ingenuity born under pressure, of creativity sparked by necessity, of one mind daring to dream against all odds. And that mind belonged to a young man named Daniel Carter, the teenager who built a revolutionary machine powered not by oil, not by coal, not even by the sun, but by the unstoppable flow of water itself. When people first heard of Daniel's invention, many dismissed it as impossible. After all, how could a boy with limited access to resources, no formal lab, no endless funding, manage to engineer a machine that could change the way communities live, breathe, and thrive? But Daniel's story reminds us of a truth that history often repeats. The greatest breakthroughs are not always born in polished laboratories or giant research institutions. Sometimes, they are born in the quiet resolve of a determined soul who simply refuses to give up. The journey begins in a small rural town, far from the hum of modern cities, where the sound of flowing rivers and the struggles of everyday survival painted Daniel's childhood. Electricity was scarce, and when it did arrive, it came with long blackouts, flickering away when people needed it most. Families lived under the constant shadow of resource shortages, but in that shadow, Daniel found light. From the earliest days, he looked at his environment differently. While others saw a river as a boundary, he saw a power line waiting to be drawn. While others walked past scraps of metal discarded on the roadside, he saw the skeleton of a future machine. Daniel Carter's childhood was not easy. His family worked hard, and every day was a test of resilience. Yet within the hardship lay a strange kind of training ground. With no internet to guide him, no ready-made kits to spark his creativity, he relied on observation, experimentation, and a stubborn belief that if the world would not provide him answers, he would carve out his own. That belief would one day lead him to an invention that not only astonished his community, but captured the attention of engineers and innovators far beyond the borders of Zimbabwe. And so we step into the remarkable journey of a teenager whose imagination flowed as ceaselessly as the rivers around him. A journey that begins with one simple question that Daniel asked himself. What if water could do more than quench thirst? What if water could power an entire community? Daniel Carter was not born into comfort. The village where he grew up was surrounded by dry soil that cracked under the heat of the sun and fields that depended entirely on unpredictable rains. Every family learned early how to stretch resources, how to save every drop, how to live with less. But for Daniel, scarcity was not simply an obstacle. It was a challenge, a puzzle, something that begged for solutions. His earliest memories were of tinkering with broken radios that neighbors discarded, taking apart fans that no longer worked, collecting scraps of wires, screws, and tiny motors. He did not always know how to put them back together, but he understood instinctively that every piece had a hidden purpose, and every problem had a possible solution if he was stubborn enough to find it. By the time he was 10 years old, Daniel's curiosity had earned him a reputation. Some villagers shook their heads and laughed when they saw him digging through trash heaps for parts, calling him the boy who played with junk. Others shook their heads in worry, telling him he was wasting time that could be spent on chores or schoolwork. But Daniel could not stop. He had an inner fire that told him every broken thing carried within it the seed of something new. What the world threw away, he wanted to transform. What others considered useless, he saw as the foundation of possibility. The idea for his water-powered machine did not come in a single lightning strike of inspiration. It grew slowly, fed by years of small discoveries. He noticed how streams would push against stones with relentless force, never tiring, never pausing. He noticed how the wheels of a bicycle spun faster when pushed downhill. He noticed how even the smallest current could carry leaves far downstream if given enough time. Nature itself was teaching him lessons in mechanics, energy, and persistence, and Daniel was listening closely. One evening, as he sat by the river near his village, watching the water churn and foam, a thought gripped him. So tightly he could not let it go. If this river never stops flowing, why can't it give us power that never runs out? To many, it sounded like a childish dream, but to Daniel, it became an obsession. He imagined a wheel placed inside the current, turning endlessly, connected to gears, then wires, then finally to light bulbs glowing in the dark. The idea filled his mind so completely that he barely slept. He scribbled sketches on torn pieces of paper, borrowed old textbooks from school, and pieced together every bit of knowledge he could gather. The dream was simple: harness the river's power to light homes, charge devices, and maybe even pump water to fields that desperately needed it. But dreaming was only the beginning. To make the dream real, Daniel needed tools, materials, and above all, persistence. He began collecting anything he could use: metal scraps from bicycle shops, empty plastic bottles, rubber from old tires, wires stripped from radios. His neighbors thought he was losing his mind, dragging piles of junk to his small workshop, which was little more than a shed behind his family's home. His parents, though concerned, allowed him the space to experiment, believing that his curiosity might one day lead him somewhere important. Failure became Daniel's constant companion. His first attempts were clumsy and fragile. The wheels broke apart, the gears jammed, the wires sparked but produced no current. Many times he felt the sting of disappointment, the temptation to give up. Yet, strangely, each failure fueled him even more. He would sit for hours, staring at his broken prototypes, asking himself where he went wrong, and then he would start again. He understood something that many never learn: failure is not the opposite of success, it is the path to it. Slowly, his machine began to take shape. He built a small water wheel using the frame of an old bicycle, attaching paddles cut from pieces of wood. When he placed it in the stream, it began to turn, creaking and groaning, but turning nonetheless. That moment was electric, not because the machine yet produced electricity, but because Daniel could see the proof that his idea was not fantasy. The water moved the wheel could move gears, and gears could create power. He was on the right path. Daniel's determination began to draw attention. Children from the village gathered around his workshop, curious to see what strange contraption he was building. Some adults came too, some offering advice, others shaking their heads in disbelief. "It won't work," they said. "Even if it does, it will never be enough to make a difference." But Daniel was not building just for them. He was building for the belief that a different future was possible. Day by day, the project grew. He replaced wooden paddles with sturdier materials, tested different gear sizes, rewound coils of copper wire to form magnets, experimented with bulbs until one finally flickered on. That flicker, dim and fragile though it was, became a beacon of hope. It proved that a teenager, armed only with scraps and determination, could wrestle power from the river. Word spread quickly. The boy who played with junk was no longer a curiosity, he was becoming an innovator. But success also brought new challenges. To scale up his machine, Daniel needed better parts and a deeper understanding of electrical systems. He borrowed more textbooks, begged for discarded batteries, studied diagrams he could barely understand at first, and taught himself through trial and error. He learned about voltage, current, resistance, the invisible laws that govern the flow of electricity. He built crude measuring tools, adjusted his designs, and tested again and again until the machine grew strong enough to power not just a single bulb, but an entire household. The first night Daniel's machine lit up his family's home was unforgettable. Neighbors gathered outside, their faces glowing in the warm yellow light that spilled from the windows. Some gasped, some laughed, some cheered. For the first time, the darkness that swallowed their nights was pushed back by light created not by candles, not by expensive fuel, but by the river that had always flowed beside them. It was as if the impossible had become real before their eyes. Daniel's invention did more than provide light. It sparked conversations, ignited imaginations, and challenged assumptions. If a teenager could build such a thing from scraps, what else might be possible? Could this machine power more homes? Could it pump water for crops, charge phones, run radios? Could it change the way entire communities lived? For Daniel, the answer was always yes. His mind raced ahead, filled with visions of expansion, of a network of water-powered machines transforming villages across the country. He knew he had much to learn, but he also knew that knowledge was no longer out of reach. His invention had opened doors. Teachers began to take notice, local leaders came to see his work, and whispers spread beyond his village, eventually reaching ears in the city. Daniel Carter was no longer just a boy with a dream. He was becoming a symbol of what human spirit could achieve when fueled by curiosity, courage, and relentless perseverance. And though his journey was still only beginning, it carried within it the power to inspire countless others around the world.